Welcome back, friends. We are talking about the different type of non-Mendelian inheritance. We have discussed codominance, incomplete dominance, and also polygenic inheritance, and also the multiple allelic inheritance. Now, in this video, we'll be talking about sex-linked inheritance. I don't know whether you can visualize this because it's getting fade now. Anyways, let me change the color here. Okay. Now, we'll be talking about sex-linked inheritance. Now, what do you mean by sex-linked inheritance? As the name suggests, sex-linked, and I have also previously discussed about the sex-linked thing. It means related to sex chromosome. And we also know inside our body there are two different sex chromosomes. One is in case of female it is XX, in case of male it is XY. So till now, whatever type of traits were discussed are carried or are placed, or the genes for those traits are placed in the chromosome of autosome. Now, in human body, the mark or makeup of genotypic makeup of the human body is 22 pairs of autosome plus XX or XY. Now, that means all of the previously discussed traits are related to these autosomes, but now we find some trait related to this XX or XY, which are the sex chromosomes. Now there are traits, there are genes that are placed in the sex chromosomes. The importance factors of those genes are to express the sexual characteristics, the major importance, but also they need to have different functions, and also many type of important protein and encoding genes are there. If they malfunction, they lead to different type of effects and some of the disorders. Now some of the dangerous disorders also, disorders like hemophilia, hemophilia or the royal blood loss disease, and also diseases like color blindness. Okay, so we can have this type of deadly diseases related with this sex-linked inheritance. Okay, now the pattern of transfer of this sex-linked inheritance through the generations are quite different than those of the autosomal chromosome. Now what happens here, in case of autosomal inheritance, the inheritance pattern, remember, in case of, if we take only one trait, the importance of traveling it. In case of Gregor-Mendel ratio, the phenotypic ratio and genotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio is 3:1, genotypic ratio is 1:2:1. All the time it happens. But in case of this uh, sex-linked inheritance, the ratio never happens like that, because the pattern of inheritance always between the cross of XX and XY, and those are different, right? So for that, let's take an example. Let's take an example for the color blindness. Okay, now color blindness is the gene color for the gene for the color blindness. For example, if it's the only one gene which is responsible for the color blindness, now that gene is present in the X chromosome, say one of the X chromosome. So this gene is present in the X chromosome. Okay, so let's consider here like this. So we are having this X, this, so C means color blindness. It is crossed with, so one male, one female. So this is the female and this is the male. So here what we can find here in this case, so if I make a cross, so what we are finding here, the female is, sorry, say this small c is the color blind. So here this male is the color blind male mate with a female which is normal. This female is normal, this male is a color blind. So color blind traits, I will give them a red circle. Okay, it means they are color blind. Okay, and if they are not a color blind, infected only, not infection, actually they are carrier only, I'll put a dress like that. Okay, now one thing you must understand before going into the discussion is that this gene is present in X. The faulty gene is present in X chromosome. And remember one thing very importantly, that during this sex chromosomal determination, what will happen, XX for female, XY for male. Now if this X chromosome is carrying that colorblind gene, then what will happen to the male? If it carries one this colorblind gene, this male eventually will have the color blindness, or it eventually have the disease. But remember, if this female is achieved one of this gene of inside the one of the X chromosome, it won't develop into the disease, because it is having another X which is normal. This is very important, because these females are homozygous for this X chromosome, right? So if one of their X chromosome is faulty, one of their X chromosome is having that colorblind gene, simply they won't have any color blindness, because the other normal X chromosome will replenish the action of that particular place. So other X chromosome is not faulty, it is fine, so it will do the job, so they won't have any color blindness developed. Okay, but if both of their X are having the faulty gene, then they show up color blindness. So what will happen to the males? So we can have only one type of thing, that is XCY for the male, it is color blindness. But in case of female, if you have XCX, so one of them is faulty, this type of females are not color blind, instead they are called carriers for that particular trait, so they are dangerous to mate with, right? Now if say a healthy man who is not colorblind mate with this kind of carrier, if the chance of giving a birth of a baby having color blindness increases, because though the carrier is not colorblind, but still it is carrying the colorblind faulty gene in one of the X, right? Now let's look at the pattern. Say if here this female is mating with this male is the colorblind one, in this case female is not the colorblind. Now what will be the offspring? Now in this kind of selection, what we can do, we just simply make crosses like that. So we'll be making this, so XCX, XCX and XY, 2XY. Okay, so this and 2XY means this X with this SY, this X with this Y. So we'll be getting both of them like that. Okay, so what we'll get this ratio. Now after getting this kind of cross of a combination, so two of the combinations, so there will be 4 combinations, so these are the offspring, right? So this is the first generation of the offspring, whatever we can tell. Now in this offspring, both of the males, so 2 male and 2 females, so 2 boy and 2 girls child are formed, and 2 boy of them, none of them are having this C or faulty gene, so all of them, so all the boys are healthy now. But both of the girls that are here, both of the girls, they are having one of their faulty genes. Now remember, I've told you before that if a girl is having one faulty gene, it won't develop to the disease, because it is having another normal copy of the same gene, which is X. So they are not having the disease, so I am not circling them out, but instead I am giving a line that denotes that they are the carrier of that disease. Now let's consider to the next. Now say this girl mate with another boy who is a healthy boy from the neighbor, and say, so let's take it first. So let's take this girl, and it mates with another healthy boy. It's a healthy boy, right? No problem with it, but it crossed with this healthy boy. After that, mate with this. After the mating, what we'll have, what we can see, the development, say this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so this XC with this X, this XC with this Y, this X with this X, this X with this Y. So we are having again 4 different probabilities. So in any kind of sex-linked inheritance, in each generation, when the gametes are reformed, we will have 4 different probabilities, 4 different gametes, 4 different type of thing in the gametes. Okay, so in the gamete formation, four different probabilities are there. Now again, in these probabilities, these two are healthy. This boy is healthy because none of the gene is there. This girl is also healthy, no genes are there, and this girl is also, and this boy is also free from the disease. There, none of them are having the disease, none of them are having the gene as carrier. But on the other hand, this boy is having the faulty gene, and it is having only one X. So if the gene is faulty in this one X, then the disease will show up. So this boy is getting the disease of color blindness. He will not be killed because for the color blindness nobody gets killed. But if it is hemophilia, the same way, in case of hemophilia also, the inheritance patterns happen in the same way. If it is a deadly disease, then this boy might die, right? But in case of this one again, this girl is also having two genes, and one of the genes are infected, one of the genes are one of the X is carrying the faulty gene, so it will again be the carrier, right? So this is not developed into the disease, she will be the carrier. So now what we can see from here, as males are having only one X chromosome, and if any faulty gene is inherited in that X chromosome, it is the maximum tendency of developing the disease in male. Just note it down. This is very important concept. In any kind of sex-linked inheritance, it is also called X-linked inheritance, because most of the time the diseases, sex-linked disease, are actually the other name of X-linked disease, because most of those diseases are X-linked, because we are heterozygous of the traits. We are having only X or one Y. So if the X is troubling for us, will be no way to replenish it. But the girls are having a way to replenish because they are having 2X. If one is faulty, another one is there to help them. So these are the thing. Okay, so from here we can say this is getting it. So what will happen now, look at this Y, and if we look at this family tree, so this is a whole family tree that we have made. So here this is the generation, above this is the parental generation, and these are their grand parents, right? So if I draw it carefully, so this is the daughter generation, this is the parental generation, and this is the grandparental generation. So we have traveled 3 generations from the grandparents to their daughters. Now the first entry of the disease gene here happens during this first grandparent. Their grandfather is carrying this gene for the first time during this whole process, and then through the hands of the grandfather, in the first parental generation nobody was color blind because of this kind of inheritance, but at the second generation we can find that one of the grandson is colorblind. Okay, so this type of thing can be shown, and the study of this type of uh, family link up and family inheritance pattern is called the pedigree analysis, and the type of thing that we can make with it is a pedigree. Now let us consider to make a pedigree using this. I also will be teaching you how to make the pedigree of this short, then we'll be analyzing many more pedigrees. Now you can find videos on pedigree analysis in my website, also in my YouTube channel. You can go and visualize it. Okay, so this is the inheritance pattern of X-linked inheritance, and sex-linked inheritance can also be called as X-linked inheritance. Now let us draw one pedigree, simple pedigree with it. So you can draw a pedigree. Now in pedigree there are some rules. Rules means females are designated with circle, males are designated with box, and the deceased one are designated with this fill thing like that. Okay, and we simply connect two of them by horizontal line. That means they are mated. And if we drag someone in middle of the line, that means they are mating. After the mating they give rise to some offsprings. So these are the 4 important criteria and symbols that you need to know before going to the pedigree. Okay, now let's come here. So let's first talk about, so this XX is a female, so it means we give a circle. If XY is a male, so we'll give it a square box. Now remember what we've suggested, that deceased one will given the fill. So here is a deceased one, so this grandfather was color blind, so what we'll do, we'll make a fill here. So that means this is a deceased person. Then we'll go they mate with each other, so we having a line. Then their childs, so when they talk about their children, we'll drag it, and 4 children, so we'll be making the children list like that. Now among the children's, this is female, male and male. So let's draw female, female and male, and also let us draw the male like it. Now both of the males are healthy, females are carriers. Now the carriers are designated here with different. Now let's say we'll designate the carrier with this black thing. So these are, both of them are carriers. Now what we can do, we are, so now let us take another family. So this XY is from the other family, so we'll be taking this XY. So let's talk about this. This is that XY who is healthy, then they are also mated with each other. Okay, and they are also having offsprings. They are also having 1, 2, 3, 4 offsprings. Among them, 2 boy, 2 girl. So again say this is a girl and boy. So let us draw the structure of this. It is this part. So this is a girl which is a carrier. So let me draw the girl with a carrier. Carrier will be denoted with this black scratch. Boy is diseased. Sorry. Boy is square and it is diseased. Then again a girl, healthy girl and a healthy boy. So if we follow the rule that I have discussed, that girl circle, boy square, diseased fill in the square, then a horizontal line link between them mating, and the vertical line is the offspring. So these 4 things, if we remember these 4 things, we can actually draw the pedigree. Now this is called a pedigree, and in this pedigree, this is the grandparental generation, this is the parental, this is the daughter. Now this pedigree can go on and on like that. As we go downwards like this, we can find. And this pedigree is really important, because utilizing this pedigree analysis, we can actually trace back to the insertion of a faulty gene into the family tree line. This is also called a tree of life, or tree of a family, or a family tree. Okay, by utilizing this pedigree, so let me write it what it is. It is a pedigree or family tree. Okay, the rules: this is girl, this is boy, this means diseased, horizontal line means mating, vertical line means offspring. Okay, so these are the rules of constructing a simple pedigree, and we have talked about this. So by looking at this, we can find only 2 persons having color blindness, and 3 of them are carriers. And remember one thing by looking at this pedigree, which is very important, and we can tell or analyze this pedigree, and by analyzing it, what we can tell, that for the first time the disease comes from this grandfather. So he is the main culprit for this disease, because he was color blind. For that, this 3rd generation boy is also color blind. Okay, and also what we can say, that you can see that all of the girls are the carriers only. None of the boys are carriers. So this is a vital clue, and the vital uniqueness of sex-linked inheritance are the most of the sex-linked inheritance are linked with X chromosome, and if they're linked with X chromosome, most of the time the carriers are females and the sufferers are males. This is a take-home message. Sufferers are males, you can see they are having the disease, and the carriers most of the time are females. So that's it. I hope this is helping you. Thank you.